So I watch a lot of FoodTube, and one of my favorites is called Family in Northwest China, aka Xiaopang. She used to post these strangely enticing thumbnails that didn't really give you any idea of what she was going to be making, but I'd end up clicking anyway. These days she's been making a lot of braised meat dishes that look spicy and saucy and delicious, so I figured I'd give her technique a try and combine a few of her recipes into one. They're all pretty similar, but I'm going to be mixing and matching and seeing what I can come up with. So to get started, take a kilo of pork ribs and chop them into 2 to 4 centimeter pieces. If possible, have your butcher do this so you don't have to, because it's a lot of work. Throw them all into a large pot or a wok. Add 30 grams of ginger, the whites of 5 scallions. I've got these thin scallions, so if yours are thicker, go ahead and use fewer. Cover the ribs up with water. Add 15 mils of Char Siu wine, aka Chinese cooking wine, and let's bring that up to a boil. Once it's boiling, you should see some scum float to the surface, so go ahead and skim that off. Then once the water is relatively clean, you can go ahead and remove the ribs and rinse them in cold water. This first step is meant to reduce the funky taste that pork can have. It's not entirely necessary since this is all going to be coated in a thick sauce, but it is tradition, so I'm going to roll with it. Next up, into a clean wok over medium-low heat, let's add 30 mils of oil and about 30 or 40 grams of rock sugar. This is basically the same stuff as the rock candy that you get on a stick, but if you can't find it in stores, then granulated sugar should work just fine, so go ahead and use that. Stir that around until the sugar eventually dissolves and melts, and you're left with sort of a caramel. And keep stirring until it starts changing color to a golden brown and then to a deep red, at which point we'll add in our ribs. Stir them thoroughly so they're all coated in that syrup, and go ahead and brown the meat on all sides. Just keep on stirring, we want these to be nice and golden. Once the ribs are brown, let's go ahead and add some aromatics. I've got 5 dried chilies, 30 grams of sliced ginger, 5 whole peeled cloves of garlic, 5 more scallion whites, and again use fewer if you've got bigger scallions. Now let's add in 30 milliliters of doubanjiang, or Sichuan-style chili bean paste, 2 star anise, 1 cinnamon stick, and a tablespoon of Sichuan peppercorns. And 30 mils of tianmianjiang, which is a sweet black bean sauce that's also used in jjajangmian. And as regional Chinese cuisine is getting more and more popular around the world, all these ingredients should be fairly easy to find at your local Asian grocery store. Stir those all around and let them toast for a few minutes. Then we'll add in our braising liquid. In this case, I'm using 2 cans of beer, just a basic Pilsner, and I pulled this step from a chicken recipe that Xiaopang made, so hopefully it won't be too out of place with pork ribs, but we'll see. Now let's add 15 milliliters of dark soy sauce, 15 mils of light soy sauce, and another 15 mils of Shaoxing wine. Let's cover that up, increase the heat to medium-high, and let that braise for about an hour or until all that liquid has reduced into a thick sauce. And if you're liking this video and you want to see more of my international experiments, then hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because I'm doing this every week. Once all that liquid has reduced into a thick glaze, go ahead and remove the cover, and we're going to throw in 2 sliced green chilies. These ones are Korean Chungyang chilies, but you could use jalapenos if you want, anything that's mildly spicy and fresh tasting. Or you could swap it out for bell peppers if you don't like the heat. Along with that, let's add in a chopped tomato, give that all a good mix so everything's coated in that sauce, and it's ready to serve. So this flavor profile is totally new to me and kind of unexpected. I expected it to be more on the Szechuan side of things with those Szechuan peppercorns and the doubanjiang, but as this reduced, the flavor of those spices really developed into sort of a 5-spice flavor profile with an underlying Szechuan mala kind of note going on. You've got the earthiness of the star anise and the cinnamon, then you've also got the numbingness from the Szechuan peppercorns and the spice from the chili peppers and the doubanjiang. The beer does add a bright acidity to this, but you could totally get away with using water if beer is not your thing. But overall, this is a spicy, complex, and delicious way to cook ribs, and it didn't take too much time or effort, so I hope you give it a try, take photos of it, post it to Instagram, tag me in it at Kevin All Over the World, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.